Hello again, fellow model builders. Brett back, high altitude scale modeling with another sprue review. This time I'm looking at something I haven't looked at before, a 48 scale Panther with full interior from Suyata models. This kit looks to come with a metal barrel, Zimmerit decals, 4 different schemes. Here's some, assuming that looks like the finished model. Kit number, I don't know, 003. 148 scale. Haven't opened it yet. Don't know what's inside here. You get some people not liking interior work on armor. Some people loving it. This is going to be my next armor build because I think it's a perfect thing to try. So you got a whole 2, 3 individually bagged, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Zimmerit metal barrel, looks like metal muzzle, PE instruction manual. So let's get started with this. Now, those of you who built Tamiya 48 scale armor, you know the 48 scale can be really well done. And this actually reminds me a lot of Tamiya. The color of the plastic, the feel of it, the detail of it. So the bottom part of the hull, obviously you're going to be covering up all these ejector pin marks because you're going to have a full interior. There's a bunch on here too, which I'm assuming will be covered. But there are a lot of ejector pin marks. But it's a full interior kit, and even if it wasn't a full interior kit, you wouldn't see it anyway. Bottom escape hatches, nice raised and recessed detail throughout there. The suspension's gonna go. Good strong plastic. Top of the hull, again, nice strong plastic. And lots of detail in here, as you can see. But you'll probably be able to see through the hatches or the glass, maybe, if you have them open. The venting for the engines, again, ejector pin marks throughout. But, you know, you're not going to see any of those, no matter what. Even if you display it open, you'll have this sitting on the side, face up. So, we're starting out good. You have resealable bags. So let's continue this with part of the turret, or maybe all of the turret. And it does come with a plastic barrel as well, as you would expect. I'm sure the metal barrel's on the first run. Very nice casting texture on here. It's got Zimmerit decals, like we said. There's a muzzle brake, machine gun, hatches, cupola, really nice detail on the bottom of the turret as well. So, some hatches. Other parts, ring for it there, like I said. Nice cast texture. Not overblown, 48 scale. Your turret. Assuming you're going to put Zimmerit on it. Here's your barrel, and it's got a slight, very slight burr line on there, but a couple swipes and it's all gone. Some small delicate parts. Here's your gun. So you flip it over, and these hatches, there are no ejector pin marks on these. Each have two small ones. I'm not sure if you'll see those. Inside the turret, you can see there is some detail and some ejector pin marks. Again, you have to see if it matters, if you're going to clean them up or not. Alright. Next, we're going to go with just going to have to start getting various screws out. Part of the suspension, the drive sprockets or the return idlers, a couple arms from a crew member. Looks like the de-ditching logs. The exhaust is folded open. A ladder. Another gun with a tripod stand. So again, very nice. There's that open exhaust. You can drill down a little more if you'd like. Very good detail on those. There's your ladder. Small bits. There's your arms. De-ditching log halves. Hold on. Bless me. Shovel. And the other side. Looking good. A lot of ejector marks under the bottom, which you won't see. Engine covers. Ladder looks good. And actually, I was wrong. These de-ditching logs are one piece. These aren't halves. These are three. And I don't see a burr line on those, so they did a really good job with those. Alright. Next, smaller sprue, which looks like it's got the interior suspension parts. Looks like a lot of this could be the interior. This could be some of the walls inside. Whole suspension run. A hose, probably a cooling hose. I could be wrong. But the detail, the crispness, don't see any burring on any of that. And I'm sure for the shells, or the empty shell cartridge, the casings, or both. There's a wall. There's a wall. And the other side has some detail and ejector pin marks. There's the bottom of all the other parts. Good detail there. We're starting to get into interior parts. And let's see, shells. Looks like the engine. I have to get some good pictures how to detail that engine up if I'm going to build the interior right. I'm pretty sure cream white is the color the interior is supposed to be. I don't know which shells these are. I'd have to look it up. There's your valve covers, engine blocks, transmission. This was a muscle car. I'd say it's 2 4-barrel carburetors. Your transmission cover. So let's look at the bottom first because it looks like a nice radio face right there, I'm thinking. So here's the bottom. Nothing too spectacular except for, there's some detail on some of these parts on the underside. And turn it over. Transmission parts, engine block, manifold, valve covers, other parts I don't know, 2 different types of shells, transmission parts, So yes, it's going to be big on detail for such a small size. Here, looks like we have radiators. Alright, where's the end? There's. They also do a 48 scale Tiger with full interior, which I also have that I'll be reviewing somewhere down the road. I'm building the Panther first. So like I said, radiators, looks like some drive lines. Bottom of the main hatch maybe. Window blocks. Again, I'm hoping that like these, you won't see the side of them because of the ejector pin marks. This has got the big tall ejector pin things that you definitely need to clean up. I just snapped one off, so I hope I'm right. So there's your underside. What you want to see is the detail side, which obviously this company is known for its detail. They're not a big name company. I think they're an arm of another company, but I'm not sure which one. Kind of reminds me of a smaller version of Tacom. I'll have to look into it. Detailed radiators. There's a detail on that. Okay. One more big sprue, and this is matching ones because this is the drive wheels and the Lincoln length tracks, which fortunately you don't have to do. I might look at one because they're duplicates. You don't have to do individual tracks in 48 scale, although there are quite a few on here. And extra tracks, of course. Wheels look very nice. Track looks very nice. This one's got a slight bend to it. I'm sure that's part of the for it to lay down on the top. Guide sprockets. And the wheels are very nice on both sides. This is the back side of the sprue. See the nice detail. And the back of the tracks. One thing I'm noticing is no ejector pin marks on the wheels or the tracks or the sprockets. Tow hooks. And then flip it over and you get the other side of the wheels. Equally as nice detail. And sprockets. Track links for the extras, probably. And the tops of the tracks. Like I said, 2 of these sprues. It's the only duplicate sprue we have. This kit actually comes, and I may have reviewed it, I don't remember, but with the winch to raise the turret off and the engine out. You could do a diorama. This is another duplicate set of sprues. This is the last ones. And you've got your fuel barrels, seed, another ladder, some more shells, lots more shells. I'm guessing these are going to go in all those holes that are in the bottom of the interior. Jerry can. So the shells are one piece. It's a tiny slight seam line. You have to really look for it. I wouldn't complain about it. Barrels, seat. Hatches. So you do have a lot of shells with this. Get to use your brass color finally. Back of the seat has a couple ejector. Actually, only the bottom has an ejector pin mark, not the back. And then those shells again. And inside of these hatches don't have one either. Okay, two of those, like I said. And take all the plastic, instructions, decals, zimmer it. Get everything out of here. All right. You've got your brass muzzle brake, and it's beautifully done. And you've got your barrel, turned aluminum, again, beautifully done. You've got, this is a nice piece of copper for the rope. I prefer this to string, because once you paint it up, it looks more realistic. You've got a small sheet of photo etch for the grills, a couple of handles. It's protected on both sides by plastic. You've got a small set of decals, because Armor doesn't have a lot of decals. Your 4 versions. Let's open this one. This is the Zimmerit sheet. You tanker experts will know how well this is, or isn't. It is textured. There you go. It is textured all over, as you can see. Carrier film is non-existent. I believe you do these like normal decals, but I'm going to have to read the directions and find out. Made in China in 2021. So, yep, nice texture to it all. So, that's a nice added touch as well. Put these back so they don't get messed up. And we have the instruction manual with beautiful box art on it. Is that the box art? Yep. Get all this other stuff out of the way so I can zoom out. Oh, it's tilted backwards. There you go. So, Suyata, if I'm saying that right. Nice color callouts for the interior. Like I said, cream weiss or vice, if you actually speak the language correctly, which I don't. Your red oxide primer. It's very nice to give you a really good look at the interior you're going to be building. And they give you a good look at the interior before you get everything in it. So your suspension part's red. And like I said, it's giving you all the color callouts, and this was built up. And the next page gives you how it's supposed to look underneath the turret on the top part of the hull. How your engine should look. How your gun breech and everything should look. The gunner's seat. Nice added touch. A few little warnings. Please pay attention. This tells you decal, dip in water for tepid water 15-20 seconds. Slide decal onto model. Move decal into position. Press down gently to water and air bubbles are gone. Sprue map. This is telling you how your Zimmerit's going to go on. Now you're going to do that, excuse me, before or after you paint it. You tank experts will know the correct answer. I'll be either watching someone else or playing by ear. So you're attaching your torsion bars, your gearbox, all to the interior, your outside torsion bars. And I see how I know that because that's what it says. road wheels, but I'd paint them first before I put them on. That's me. Drive sprockets, internal structure assembly, attaching the engine. Here's building the engine on this side. So it gives you a little box of some of them. The exclamation point, pay attention. So you're building the engine here, and then you're assembling it there. They're very nice instructions. Good quality paper too. Attaching the tracks. Again, I'd wait till after I had it all painted. Could weather the tracks separately. But that's me. Attaching the wall, the firewall. Just says internal structure assembly. Attaching the engine, so apparently it's in there, but it's not attached yet because you got to put some hosing and stuff on it. More internal structure assembly. Fighting compartment assembly. That's where all those shell tops are going to go into there, where the rest of the shell presumably is. That's going to slide down in there, and then all the rest of your shells are going to be stacked and go in there. This thing had a lot of shells. Okay, fighting compartment assembly 4. Internal structure assembly, so there's more structure going down after that. A lot of this painting you probably have to do and then put it together, unless you're talented, more talented than me, which isn't hard, to paint it all when it's in one piece. Attaching the exhaust pipes, your whole assembly with your vent covers and your hatches and whatever that is. Looks like a tube to store something, huh? Maybe the equipment to clean the barrel. Your tow rope, your axe, your shovels, your hatches, your PE vents, and some more PE vents. Attaching the machine gun, which you're doing from the bottom. You're attaching it to the top of the hull from the bottom. There you go. Hull assembly continued. Hull assembly 6. Attaching the side skirts, which you probably do need the tracks on for that. Working on the top of the turret. More turret assembly. So you get your window blocks, your vision ports. There is no glass clear parts in this kit. That's so weird. I just realized that. Let me check to be sure that I didn't miss anything. Yeah, caves where those parts are, and they're not clear. I don't know if they need to be clear, especially if they're closed. Anyway, turret assembly 3, turret assembly 4, turret assembly 5, gun assembly, regular barrel or metal barrel. Obviously, if you're using the metal barrel, it says to cut off the plastic barrel. Drill a 2mm hole 3 millimeters deep, and then you attach your metal barrel. Make sure you center that hole. And then you're putting it together with all the other parts that are needed. Here's a good diagram of putting it together, then attaching it. Same here, more gun assembly into the mantlet. Gun assembly 4, getting it all together. Putting it into the turret. Putting the turret onto the tank, putting your various parts on. There's a guy in here that I did not see. Let me find the L. What Sprue looks like. L is one with the side skirts. His arms. This is L, right? Yep. I got arms. I'm guessing that's his head. I'm still not seeing a body. So, there's supposed to be a body right there, and there's not. It was cut out. So this kit comes with some things, but a man's body is not one of them, apparently. And your barrels and your ladder. That's really strange. So, one exterior painting for France 1944, France June 1944, different color scheme. Again, France 1944, a different one, and Italy 1944. So we got 4 schemes, and these are ammo with big color callouts. And that looks to be it. There you have it. 48 scale, full interior Panther kit. Some will love it, some will hate it. Hopefully many will build it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're sitting your ass at the bench and building the model while you're listening to me in the background. Occasionally turning around to see what I'm talking about. Wonder what the hell is he talking about. So, sit your ass at the bench, build a model. Have a great day.